How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to talk to you today about BNGO because there was some big news that just happened after the market closed as of about 10 minutes ago. So I'll explain what's happening. I'll kind of tell you my price prediction on it and what I think could happen because we were right around $10 today. We're flirting with $10. So I want to tell you kind of what I think the price movement will be, what could happen in the short term, long term. What does this mean for the company and how I feel after this? Because I'll be honest with you, I held all my shares over from $1.25 up to about $10. So if you guys like this, please leave a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I'm not going to cut through this very much because I really want to just get this to you guys as quickly as possible because I know a lot of people will be asking about it. Also, if you want to hit subscribe, please hit subscribe. We're so close to 90,000 subscribers, and right after that, 100,000. So if you don't mind doing that, I'd really appreciate it. If you know someone else that's interested in the stock market, feel free to send them the channel link. You can hit the share button right down there. And if you want to get some free money, WeBull has extended their for free stocks. So you just have to deposit $100 and then you can get up to $3,700 worth of free stock, and you can trade pre-market and post-market hours. So if you want to get into BNGO right now, you could. And last thing, if you want to check out our link down below to Patreon, we just called out a stock last week and then we added to it this week. So that's the important thing that I think a lot of people they're not used to, right? You can buy a stock and just sit on it, but being able to have the conviction to add to it when it falls down. And this is going to be interesting because I think there's going to be a parallel between the two stocks. And honestly, today we bought in at $1.50 and now it's at $3.06. We doubled our money and more today. So if you guys want, you can check out the link down below to Patreon. Again, that's where I tell everyone what I'm buying and selling in real time. A lot of people made a lot of money. A lot of people made a lot more money than me today on this stock. So definitely check that out down below. So we're talking about BNGO today. You can see it was actually up a good amount. And at one point, it was right around $10, just a couple cents short. And now since then, it's fallen down to the bottom where it was actually down about 15%. We're down about 7% after market. Now, what happened recently is that they announced that they plan to offer and sell, subject to market and other conditions, shares of its common stock in an underwritten public offering. So they have not given the amount that they're going to sell or at the price that they're going to sell. If you remember, they actually, on January 7, if I have this right, announced the proposed underwritten public offering of common stock. Now, a lot of people were worried at that point that that was going to be a negative thing on the stock, a negative catalyst, and it did send the stock down, right? We saw it fall down a little bit after that, and I'll just pull it up here, but since then, since we had the symposium, we actually had some really good price movement. So on January 7th, they announced this, and then it fell. If you remember, it fell just short of $4. But since then, we actually had it rise a good amount, and since it fell afterwards, it's risen about 100%. Now, this does not worry me for the stock. And now there's some uncertainty because of the fact that they haven't told us how much they want to raise or at what price. But look at this share price. It would be stupid, right? It would be stupid not to sell a little bit of this to raise some extra cash because this will give them a lot of runway. The stock is up 1,600% in less than a month. It only makes sense to me for them to dilute shares or to sell some shares on the open market. Now, it would be nice if we had a direct offering, right? It would be nice if we had something like SENS, where we actually saw this. They announced this a little while ago, and I was actually really excited about this. I was really excited that they announced this because for me, one of the biggest problems with SENS was that it was low on cash and that it had a lot of liabilities. Now, this is a little bit different because SENS had a direct offering, which means they sold it right to institutional investors. We knew the exact amount. And this, I think, is a little bit stronger when they can do that because that shows that institutional investors want to buy it. And they did it for $1.25. And I saw that it was going to drop down because of that, or at least that's what I thought. I thought it was going to drop down the next day. And we saw that this morning. It dropped to about $1.50 or so. It was flirting around 145 in the pre-market. I picked it up at 150 Exactly. And we wrote it up a lot because I knew that there's going to be some hype behind it today. Or the direct offering was going to cause some eyebrows to raise and make some people a little bit worried. But I think this might be a similar catalyst for BNGO, where people are worried a little bit. We might see a drop tomorrow or even just overnight. This is typically what happens. And then people are going to get excited because they realize, okay, this really probably won't matter over the long term. And actually, it's good. And they can get in at a lower price. So I think a lot of people will be getting in on this now. And I think we're going to hit a resistance and it won't fall too much lower. I mean, if you just look at today, it was pretty consistent here. If we look at the 1 month, it has been just up and up and up. So I think we could see a little bit of a dip similar to what we saw before, maybe 10 to 20% dip. Now, I'm not going to sell it because I think there are too many positive catalysts. First of all, if a big institutional investor called ARK Invest starts buying in, like we've talked about, that would send the stock up probably 2x in a day. Another thing is they could have some positive FDA results. They could also, have several other things that could happen that could send the stock price up. So what am I doing? I am going to sit on my shares. I am comfortable with the risk reward that I have in the stock right now, because I also want to keep some capital available for other plays like SENS, for other stocks that we think could do quite well. So I'm going to keep some capital on the sidelines. Of course, BNGO could go up from here. I am excited to see how this is going to help the company because, again, they're going to get a lot of money and probably get it at a much higher price than they got before. So I think that's something to take into account. Now, again, if you want to try to play it short term, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a stock analyst, but I would assume it would dip a little bit, and we already are seeing a dip now. But a lot of people can't sell right now because it's post-market and they announce this after the market closed. So we might see a dip in the morning, but I'm going to hold on to my shares. I like them long term, and I like the fact that they have a little extra cash. So I'm not going to try to get out or anything like that. Now, if you're wondering about SENS, I am still holding this one. Even though it's up 100+% in a day, I'm still going to hold it. The reason is I feel good about the company long term. I like who they work with. So let me know your thoughts on this down below. Let me know what you think about BNGO and about SENS too if you're interested in that. Definitely check out the link to Patreon if you haven't done that already. Or again, if you have done that, send it to someone that you know that would be interested in it. I would really appreciate that. Also, check out the link to WeBull. And if you want to see the video on SENS I did earlier today that's a little bit more in depth on the company and some positive catalysts, I'll put it up on the end screen. And if you want to see a stock that ARK Invest has actually been buying, and it's a 5G play, I'll put it down here. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in one of these videos. Bye.